I'm Paul Edwards. I'm a self-published horror author and first and foremost, a monster kid. Today I'm reading Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, issue number 118 from 1975. Do you notice something wrong with the cover? We'll talk about it in a minute. I thought some of you might enjoy flipping through this vintage magazine with me. Together, let's see what kinds of monster kid goodness is in here. This issue of Famous Monsters of Filmland features one of Ray Harryhausen's best monsters, the Cyclops. And we've got a nice cover story on the Ray Harryhausen movie, 20 Million Miles to Earth. That's awesome. The only problem is the Cyclops isn't from 20 Million Miles to Earth. The Cyclops is from a different Ray Harryhausen movie. It's from The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. 20 Million Miles to Earth had a different monster. It had the Ymir in it. Did the Ymir not rate a cover? I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure if it's really a mistake or just an incongruity, but the monster does not match the title. But in this issue, at least we're going to get some Ray Harryhausen, 20 Million Miles to Earth. We're also getting the Peter Cushing story. He's one of my favorites. Fantastic makeup demonstration at the 1974 Famous Monsters Convention. Were you there? All right, let's get to it. Missing links. I know they're not, but don't they look like the Pakuni from Land of the Lost? Wolf this issue down. Sounds like good advice. Readers got their pictures published for writing in. That's cool. All right. Oh, I almost blew right past this. Notice Famous Monsters of Filmland incorporating Monster World. As you may know, they put out a sister magazine, Monster World, for 10 issues, and then picked up the Famous Monsters of Filmland numbering another 10 issues ahead. So that, I guess, sort of unofficially, those issues of Monster World magazine count as Famous Monsters of Filmland magazines. So now they're incorporating the two of them together. All right, now this is the monster from 20 Million Miles to Earth. The end of the Ymir. Oh, look at that. There were a couple of points in this film where you felt bad for the monster. It's not his fault that astronauts brought him here in an egg from Venus and he hatched here and, you know, grew to outrageous proportions. Oh. There's Ray Harryhausen's own plaster of Paris model of the Ymir. There it is on the loose. The text here is giving us the whole story of the movie. Oops. Yeah. You just knew when they captured the thing, you knew it was going to break loose. Didn't these people ever see King Kong? They should have known it would have happened. Well, this did not happen in the movie. 20 Million Miles to Earth only featured the one monster, the Ymir. But Looks like they were goofing around and took a shot of the Ymir tangling with a pteranodon. Now, I was impressed with the rocket ship. When they made this movie, people thought of space travel in terms of rockets like the V2, as if we would travel through space in a ship that looked like the rocket that we launched from Earth in. And, you know, this was before the days of the space shuttle or anything like that. So the rockets would be depicted not in stages, but just the whole complete structure flying to and from other planets. And then this rocket had a problem on the way back and tanked into the ocean. And that's where we got the Ymir from, because it was on board. Oh, nice. You get 20 million pictures of the 20 million miles to Earth monster. Here, right here, you had to feel bad for the Ymir when they jabbed him with a pitchfork. It wasn't his fault. He didn't come here on purpose. But then you felt bad for the elephant when he fought and killed the elephant. But then you felt bad for the Ymir again when he was killed. Everybody loses. Wow. The Ymir's last stand. Yep. Oh gosh, Captain Video's last telecast. We're going to the world of movie serials now. Wow, look at that. Look at that shot. Oh my gosh. It's walking you through all the chapter by chapter, all the developments that brought us up to this final episode. Only recently have I started to get into movie serials. The Republic, Columbia, and Universal Studios movie serials. And there are a lot of them. There's plenty of material out there. Wow. Do you know the mystery photo? There's the answer to last month's. Okay, Forrest J. Ackerman, our editor-in-chief and the father of all fanboys, is listing here his 5 favorite fright films. They are The Phantom of the Opera, that's the silent Lon Chaney Sr. film. Frankenstein, the 1931 version. Dracula, 1931. Dead of Night, that's a horror anthology movie. And King Kong. And he also gives honorable mention to The Mummy from 1932. So those are Forrest J. Ackerman's favorite horror movies. I'm sure my list would include Dracula, Frankenstein, and King Kong also. Oh my gosh, check out the lab. Wow. Christopher Lee, of course. Peter Lorre. Karloff, of course. You can't have an issue of FM without Karloff in it. MonsterCon Makeup Master. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. Through these doors past the world's most famous monsters. Nice. Thanks. The Return of Saint Peter. Peter Cushing, that is. Part 2 of our popular feature on Peter Cushing. Oh, and you get a Peter Cushing filmography. You know, nowadays, if you wanted to know what films Peter Cushing did, you could just look it up online. 1975, of course, you couldn't do that. You had to hope that a publication like this would print a list of all Peter Cushing's movies, and then you could look for those on the weekly TV listings. I should do a whole video just on this. Did you know that Peter Cushing played Doctor Who? It's true, and no, I'm not getting mixed up. He didn't play Doctor Who on the TV show. Rather, they made a couple of theatrical movies based on the TV show back in the 1960s. And Peter Cushing played Doctor Who in those movies. I should do a video just on those, because a lot of people aren't even aware of him, or even if they are aware of him, haven't actually seen them. Still going on with Peter Cushing's filmography. Yep. Oh yeah, remember The Skull? He did that one for Amicus rather than for Hammer Studios. That was where the skull of the Marquis de Sade was possessing people. I like the film Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, but what was up with his hair in this? That was seriously bad. You asked for it. Well, it's no surprise that there's imagery from The Exorcist here. That's 2 years old when this magazine came out. Nice. Bela Lugosi's Batgirl. Bela Lugosi played a vampire other than Dracula in the movie Mark of the Vampire. And this was his assistant, Luna, the Batgirl. One of my personal favorite of the Hammer Dracula movies is Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. The one with the brave priest and the cowardly priest. That's a good one. I should have got my back issues in 1975. See, it would have been way cheaper. Oh, save your monsters. Good advice. And you can join the Famous Monsters fan club. Oh, and if you missed the convention, you can get the convention book, which I assume is a program, and the convention bag. Star Trek goodies. Ah, I loved the submarine sea view on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Absolutely loved it. You know, the amazing thing about the Sea View is not the fact that it's a nuclear submarine with all kinds of crazy weapons that can generate, you know, force fields, laser beams, and it has, you know, mini subs, flying subs, nuclear missiles. All of that is cool enough. But the really amazing technical achievement of the Sea View is that they have a submarine that's so big that the hallways inside it have corners, because no submarine in the world has hallways like that. So they must have really made good use of space on the Sea View. Oh, wow. Giant 6-foot Kong poster. You can get Tarzan and Zorro. Oh, and here you can get, if they sold you on the Ymir earlier in the issue, you can get 20 million miles to Earth. Or another Ray Harryhausen, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Nice. Planet of the Apes paperbacks. It looks like it's just the novelizations of the movies. I thought maybe it was, you know, original stories. Oh. Many readers felt that the movie version of Planet of the Apes was far superior to the TV series. Yeah. Isn't the movie always superior to the TV series? With one exception. One exception. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The original 1992, was it, movie was nowhere near as good as the TV series. But usually the movie's better. All right, what should we order? What should Hammer do next? Well, I hate to tell you this, but the year is 1975, so the real answer is close up shop, because they're about to go out of their monster business until The Woman in Black. That was their big comeback, you know, a generation later. Tell Hammer what you think. Okay. Yeah, I've had mornings like this. If you enjoy classic monsters and vintage horror, you should check out my book series, the Mourner's Woods books. I've written a series of novels set in a haunted forest. A completely new cast of characters in each book ventures into this forbidden wilderness where they face all kinds of unworldly adversaries, monsters, banshees, ghosts, evil spirits. But invariably, the worst threat that any character faces in Mourner's Woods is the friend who hiked here with them. My books recapture the vibe of 20th century B movies, but in a contemporary setting. My name again is Paul Edwards. My books are the Mourner's Woods books, available on Amazon. Thanks for spending some time with me looking through Famous Monsters of Filmland, issue 118. I'll see you in Mourner's Woods.